Good morning, folks. I am back. It feels like I have not streamed in forever. I guess maybe I didn't last week. I don't remember now. I might not have streamed last week, and that might be why it feels like I haven't been here in forever, because I haven't been. And blood stain. It occurs to me that, like, I should put my server tag in here. We are playing MOP Classic on the last classic roleplay server, Bloodsail Buccaneers, which they had announced that they were going to be locking and moving everyone off of. But they decided to go back on it. Let's see. So when I had been working on this character before, really the main goal that I want to get to is just being in Pandaria. And I felt like the fastest way to do that was dungeon grinding. So we are going to see what the queues are like this morning. If they are super brutal, I will find a questing zone to do. Bring up chat on my phone so that I can see if any of y'all come hang out. Alright, hello Songville, great timing. I have just opened up. I wish I could figure out a good way to do my phone. I'll just read the chat sideways, I think is what I'll do. So I don't know if you heard, I'm initially going to see how long the queue is. Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, we might need to find a questing zone. Let's see, I was going to be like, where should we go? I guess that's what this board was added for. They want me to go to Duskwood. By order of His Royal Highness, King Varian Rin, all able-bodied citizens of the Alliance are to report to Commander Althea Ebenlock in Darkshire. The Commander's watchmen are stretched thin, defending against the marauding wolves and bands of wild worgen. They cannot hold out for long without your help. You can reach Darkshire and Duskwood by following the road south at the border between Elwyn Forest and the Red Ridge Mountains, for the glory and honor of the Alliance. What do you think? Should we do Duskwood, Songvale, or do you have another questing zone idea? I am 22. I thought I was 25, but I'm 22. I think the map has levels. It does. Okay, so we could maybe go... Oh, South Shore isn't Alliance questing anymore. We could go see if we can get anything in Arathi Highlands. Do Wetlands. Duskwood, yep. Maybe I do want to do... I feel like I have other characters I'd rather do Ashenvale, like, on a Night Elf. I guess Duskwood is our best option. Songville says, into Duskwood, that's one of those zones, never done very much in, and the last time I did anything was years ago. Really? Okay, I feel like I just did it, but I did do it in Classic, so I guess I can see what's changed and what's been the same. It is interesting to me to, like... Alright, I'm gonna totally talk about something else here for a second. I like playing the older versions of the game because there is something that's just really cool to me about everybody being on the racial mounts. Like, there's a cohesiveness to it that I like. And then when somebody had a special mount, like, it felt special. Not that I use, like, and most of my characters, a couple of my characters do use, like, basic racial mounts. So, like, I'm guilty of this, too. But, I don't know, there's something succinct and, like, everything matches the point when people are on the racial mounts. I love it. Um, what was I talking about? Oh, sometimes replaying the catazones in like close succession with the vanilla ones is cool because you can see like what's changed, but oftentimes I found it like a little bit immersion breaking because you then would really easily notice like when there would be a mix of quests that were just the quest copy pasted from vanilla versus without acknowledgement that somebody had already achieved that task before versus ones where they'd like progress the storyline forward, which could be a little jarring. I felt. A lot of the Blood Elves use Hawkstriders for Songvale. Yeah, same thing. Baron, I guess the two Blood Elves I have that I should probably just start flying. Oh, we can't. Alright, well, we're gonna follow instructions because they told us to go down from Red Ridge. The two characters I have that ride Hawkstriders, the two Blood Elves. Admittedly, they don't ride the, like, specific racial level up ones. One of them rides the PvP one, and the other one rides, the White Hawkstrider from Magister's Terrace, but they're still, like, riding basic Hawkstriders. So I do use those. I guess I have one human character that I don't actively play, but she did just ride a horse. I'm trying to think who else I had. My Tauren did not ride Kodo. When I was playing Trolls, I did use the Raptor mount. I liked Raptor for Troll. My Drakthir does not ride the racial mount. All of a sudden I'm like drawing a blank on like every character I've ever had. I can't remember any of them. Kind of an awkward moment. Thank you for making me a streaming schedule and asking for it. Once I'm sitting here, I am actually kind of like, oh, this is fun, this is good. I can tell that I've been taking a break from WoW, but I'm kind of in the mood for it today. Like, you know how we were talking last night about how sometimes you look at the visuals of the game world and, like, it just doesn't suck you in. You don't, like, it doesn't feel like the screen has depth. It's just sort of like a blank thing and your eyesight or your attention just keeps slipping away from it. I am not having that right now. I am finding myself, like, drawn to notice random bits of grass or, like, the tree texture and to study it. And so it's... Or, like, the fence. For some reason, this fence is really interesting to me right now. I think maybe that's what I'm trying to describe. Like, when I can't focus on WoW, I take the whole screen as, like, one flat plane to study. But when I'm into WoW, I perceive depth. Like, it's not a screen, it's a window. And my eyes, like, do focus on random objects, or trees, or buildings, and, like, just, like, your vision normally kind of focuses in on, like, a tiny little tunnel. I'm using my hands to talk in real life, which you can't see. But, like, you know, your eyes really focus on, like, the center of your vision, or where you're really looking at, and then the rest of your vision, like, blurs out, right? Because you're looking at one place or one object and your eyes adjust based on doing that. I think what I'm noticing this morning is that that's happening right now for World of Warcraft, and that's like, that's part of my being able to see and focus on the game world. And I don't think it was happening last night when I was trying to play. Which is interesting to notice about how, like, my sensory perception changes. I don't know how to, like, make my eyes or mind do that whenever I want them to. But it is cool to notice. Gonna backread for Songvale. Eledris might be her only character who doesn't either ride a racial mount or a class-based mount. And actually, Veil Warden also rides a courser on the ground. That is good. I mean, I think the courser was the racial mount for Blood Elves prior to their release in Burning Crusade. Which is kind of funny to think about now, that, like, they were unicorn riders, and now, like, the Hawkstrider seems so obviously them. But that might make sense. I did not play Warcraft 1, 2, 3. I probably should do that at some point. But I think we've talked about before that, like, Hawkstriders, they seem glass cannon-y, except they have to be in melee range. Where it seems like they could be really vicious fighters, but they probably are not amazing at taking hits compared to a horse or a unicorn. Although I feel like unicorns in my mind are also more slight. They're more like deer than draft horses, so. Songvale says, she realizes that Kalarian also rides a courser. Yes, he does. And that her blood elves ride either Hawkstriders or coursers unless they're real Seraph and they have a horse. That makes sense. Or Dathrian, who has a dead horse. Songville says that possibly the Hawkstrider's defense is the principle of, have you ever tried to punch a bird? Yeah, they're very fast. It's interesting because I feel like they have really strong agility. Maybe it's just that I haven't spent much time trying to visualize, like, a bird as a mount, like darting in around trees and attacking and things like that, and I probably should just try. Because maybe that's why it seems really bizarre, but it might just be, you know, that I haven't spent much time thinking about it. But yeah, it does seem like they'd be fast. They're on 2 legs, so they might be particularly good at, like, agility and mobility, even if not necessarily, like, stability. Songville says, my all Blood Elves ride Hawkstriders thing is really falling through. I still feel like all of it fits. Especially because I think canonically they, like, I'm sorry, I got an email from Pokemon Center letting me know that there are now Pokemon Squishmallows. Oh my gosh, they're cute. Oh my goodness. Pokemon plushies are very expensive. If I had a giant apartment and it was decorated to be cute rather than, like, Cottage Witch, maybe I would need to invest in some of those. I do have some nice Pokemon. Sorry for the random distraction. Anyway, I still think you have mounts that are, like, racial history relevant, is what I would call it or say. They have not yet announced when they will sell tickets for the Pokemon XP event. It still says delayed, so I try to remember to check at least once a day. Yeah. Have you decided if you want to come with before I order you a non-transferable ticket?
What can I do for you?
You are the help that we requested. I suppose you will have to do.
Be careful.
The dire wolves are our most common threat to the townsfolk here. They lurk in all the forests on all sides of us, though most are along the north bank of the river. These aren't the runt dogs you see in Elwyn or wherever you come from. They're as big as a man and twice as vicious. If you wish to assist the people of Darkshire, hunt the dire wolves so our streets can be safer.
Have a good one.
Let's adjust our Hearthstone. I don't, like, something about, I guess it's, like, speaking, maybe some of it is learned from the way that people speak on Twitch, but, like, I think of Fensei as being my character. I don't know why I say let's adjust our Hearthstone. It's definitely my Hearthstone or Fensei's Hearthstone. But I guess I want to feel like I'm playing with all of you, so that's fine.
Light be with you.
Welcome to my inn, weary traveler. What can I do for you?
Be careful.
Make this my home. I am always surprised at how big Pandaren are. Like, this really would be standing next to a bear.
Need help?
Hello, hello! Welcome to my kitchen, milady! This is where all of the Scarlet Raven's Tavern's finest delicacies are made. Ah, just smell the wonderful aroma.
Go with honor, friend.
Seasoned wolf kebabs are a house favorite. Sure, I could make you some, but first I'll need the supplies. Bring me 5 wolf skirt steaks. Why is that so hard to say? Bring me 5 wolf skirt steaks. The dire wolves near the river north of town are good to hunt. I wouldn't stray too far into the woods if I were you.
Be careful. For the Alliance.
I'll let you in a little secret. Dusky crab cakes are really made from spider meat. I know it's a bit disgusting, but the cakes have a nice tangy flavor and make great snacks. If you want to try some still, I'm afraid I'm out of meat. I'll need some lump meat to whip up a few more cakes. Venom web spiders are a good source. They nest to the north, between the foothills and the river.
Be careful.
Hey, it's canonical. Me and Songvale have long since decided that Southern Thalassians do eat spiders, and that it basically is just like eating crab. Bears are terrifying in real life. Imagine meeting a Pandaren. Yeah, it's a good thing they're always, like, smiley. Like, maybe that's why they try so hard to be friendly. See, like, what you got going on here is you have a smile, right? But it's not a toothy smile, so you're not aware of the fact that, like, they could kill you.
What can I do for you?
Darkness seems drawn inexorably to Duskwood. Master Caravan's quest is the expulsion of evil and heresy. Through our efforts, the people of Darkshire kept safe. You believe yourself worthy to join us? I once thought as you. Disillusioned by the complacency of the Watch, I joined Master Caravan. If you wish to prove yourself, it will not be through words. Test your skills against the Nightbane Worgen in Brightwood Grove. We'll see if you have what it takes to hunt these monsters.
Go with honor, friend.
Alright, so we got some options here. I think we will go We'll go work on hunting some wolves and Dusky Lump. Well, we'll hunt spiders for Dusky Lump. That is an awful, awful name for a food item. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with the wolf skirt steaks anyway. I don't know why, but in my head, Darkshire is like here, and then this road runs east to west rather than north to south. Huh. I'm having one of those moments where, like, your whole brain just gets flipped around. Weird. Ooh, we, probably gonna get called up for a dungeon here at any moment, though. So, as I mentioned in my stream title, this server was saved from deletion. Well, not deletion, locking. Look at that, we are doing okay in the morning here. This is just characters from 60 to 90, and there's more than they can display, so that is good for Blood Cell Buccaneers. Oh, do I have potions? I want to make a few of these. I found during Classic Hardcore that it's actually really fun, even if you to be using items that you make.
That ability is not ready yet.
Even
Not
though
ready yet.
the reality is I often don't
Not
need
enough
them.
energy.
Are we picking up her voice, Sungvale? Like backbeating through the mic? Ooh, not an upgrade. But I feel like that's a good luck sign, so I'm happy about it. A little bit of voice echo. Alright, I will turn the voice acting down for me so that y'all don't get it twice. That's kind of weird. I guess, yeah, because it has the echo, huh? We're gonna sort the inventory here real quick. Admittedly, it does occur to me that I probably should clear my inventory before I get called up to a dungeon. We're gonna go rush to do that first. Songville says no delay on the echo, so it doesn't sound like an echo through the mic. It sounds like that's what her voice sounds like. I mean, that's kind of cool, actually.
How are you?
This is such a good song. This is probably my herb bag. Did we really only have... Oh, I had 2 linen and 19 wool cloth. Alright, that might be a little bit of an issue. We should be getting into a dungeon here any minute, though. Got a back read, missed some messages from Songville here. I think I gotta put this... Oh, hydration alert. I do see that happening. I did remember to both refill my coffee and bring over a glass of water. There we go. Add a significant drink from it. Songville says, had big thoughts this morning, which were that the problem with picking a main for Classic and the current problem with the writing project are actually the same problem. Songville is an author, folks. Also an editor. She doesn't want to try things and see if they work because the cost of trying something that turns out not to work seems very, very high, but also not trying things is just another way of trying things that don't work. It doesn't work to do nothing. It says placate the fish. Alright, well, the fish should be placated now. I think that makes sense, and I think that's kind of what I was getting at with trying to discourage you from, or I guess trying to encourage you to just do something that would get you the most amount of hours right off the bat in having something enjoyable to play in single player. Because I think just being in the game is a win in and of itself, because it's a game you enjoy with, like, people you may want community with. But then the more you build investment in the game, the more it won't feel like a waste to just have spent time playing the game, rather than like, oh, but I spent all this time leveling a character. Like, if you were entertained the whole time you were leveling, you didn't waste time leveling a character, you spent time playing a game you enjoy. Oh boy. Alright.
Not ready. Do not do that yet.
The animations are awesome.
I need to get closer. Do not do that yet. I need to target something first.
What do we got for flavor text on Dusky Lump? Spiders are kind of like big crab. That's true. Oh, I feel like I'm not gonna hunt this person. This looks like a solemn moment. I'm gonna respect that. Should be pickpocketing these folks. Yeah. I do feel like they did not present the Worgen in Duskwood and Vanilla as being intelligent. And I wonder if they... Oh, geez, wow. Alright. Well, on that huge win, we're gonna go ahead. Oh, these Worgen are fighting. Uh-oh, DPS. Don't be AFK. Gonna miss your moment. There you go. And then the healer was the one who queued last, so I'm not sure why they're not just ready to go. Like, did you click Q or not? Alright.
It appears that Lord Walden has finally taken notice to our presence, has heightened his defenses. It's worthless, really. Nothing will deter our pack. The path ahead to him is rife with powerful Scourge minions, but I trust that you will be able to clear the path for the rest of us to follow in. Once we kill Walden, it should be a straight shot to his cowardly leader. Crowley is a disgrace to our kind for giving in to the Forsaken. My pack will show them the true face of the Worgen and the relentless fury that comes with our presence.
Alright, so since I don't totally remember how to play, I might be quiet here for just a little bit while I figure it out.
I do not have enough energy. That ability is not
Songvale says about the Worgen in Duskwood. I don't think they did cement them as intelligent, but I also don't know if they represented them from any particular perspective other than that of the citizens of Duskwood. Like, she doesn't know if they gave more insight than that. Even orcs don't seem intelligent in a lot of Alliance quests. Until I played Horde, I legit did not catch that the orcs weren't half-mindless evil beings. You know, that makes sense, and is kind of an interesting... I think that is an interesting element to World of Warcraft's depiction of like conflict and war. But like if you can't communicate and you are always at odds with one another, it's really easy for the other to be just monstrous and incomprehensible.
I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy.
Hally-ho! The hunt begins!
This is just too easy. Let's at least keep it interesting. Killed by lowly commoners. How do all...
I must have been here before, because I thought that the dialogue in that quest seemed kind of weird, but I don't have the ability to turn it in, and this is not the person, this is not Lord Walden, so I have been here once before, and I missed one of the quests, and that's what's going on.
Keep moving forward. My men will dispose of this soggy bag of bones. Control yourselves. We're here for Godfrey's head above all else. Relish in the spoils of war later.
Songvale says, might be getting too real, but it makes me think of how there are a number of demonyms that seem to boil down to meaning those who speak our language. Yeah, they're demonyms. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word. But yeah, I do think that's interesting how a lot of times, older words, for people's own group is like our neighbors or people who speak the same language as me or things like that. Like, but it lines up with the word for person. Sort of baked into the language that we struggle with outgroup people, which makes sense because outgroup people were competition. Kind of a new thing that it's possible for everyone to win. And so everybody can be in-group now, but for a long time I suppose that was not necessarily the case, and didn't like inherently make sense because people didn't interact with other people as much.
You cannot do that yet. Not enough energy. Capability is not ready yet. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. I cannot do that yet.
They're not a boss here anymore? I guess not. I thought there was a boss right here, but I'm wrong. That was kind of interesting. Somebody just like pinged repeatedly here, but didn't say anything. So I ended up going ahead and saying something. I guess that is a form of communication because they're just using the game tools, but it's strange. It feels... One of the words that comes to mind is like dehumanizing, but it doesn't feel as like friendly or sociable to use the tools rather than like verbal socialization to me in an MMO. And I wonder why that is. I guess it's because it's like a shorthand and there's not a whole lot of communication that like more complicated communication that can come off the back of using the in-game tools in the way that like a conversation could turn into something more. Right. Let's see what we got. I am gonna actually remember to kick something. I kicked too late there. Alright, so I'm experiencing my constant road experience. We're just... I don't do anything because I have not enough energy. That's a... Songvale says that when she was new, she didn't realize that other people could hear the pings and just sent a bunch of arbitrary ones because she liked the sound. It does have a really nice sound. I'll grant that. She also said that the courtyard doesn't have a boss and does have a big abomination that sometimes gets pulled and is fairly significant. Okay. Did it used to in the vanilla version? Or does it just look like somewhere that... Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I bet I'm thinking of the boss that exists there in, for Valentine's Day.
I do not have enough energy.
This death is only a temporary respite from my curse.
Honestly, once you pointed out that, like, the aesthetic of Cataclysm is comic book, so much more of it makes sense now. And I think approaching it in terms of comic book will sort of, like, just when your expectations are what you're gonna get, that your whole enjoyment of it is, much stronger. I think that's the case. I'm really glad you pointed that out about the... Well, yesterday we were talking about how in Cataclysm it really seems like they shaded with gray and black, which makes the colors kind of weird and muddy. But Songville pointed out that, like, comic books are shaded with black hatching, and then largely they just use flat colors, or at least they did, you know, prior to, like, digital coloring and things like that, where it's easier now to do shading. And so, like, that might have been part of the color family of Cataclysm. And honestly, when you think about the storytelling that was going on in this expansion, as well as the visual style, the idea that they were deeply inspired by comics, which they also produced more of during the Cataclysm era, makes a lot of sense. Somebody is advertising, like, in really creative ways and looking for people to do the rabbit fight on the Darkman Isle, and I wish I had, like, a 90 to go help, because, yeah, they're super awesome. Woohoo, 23! Also, Songvale, if you find that I say anything particularly interesting or profound or funny, you feel free to put it for me.
I do not have enough energy.
Or, I guess, like, send me the timestamp so that I can clip it later? We are gonna have to go buy some linen.
I've picked up Walden's foul scent. Fill the air with his blood.
Honestly, of all the characters I messed with creating last night, I kind of feel like making a Worgen. I guess I could try Worgen Death Knight. I was able to get a really cool name for Worgen Death Knight.
Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I do not have enough energy. That ability is not ready yet. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I cannot do this. I do not have enough energy.
Having random thoughts about the development of European history or civilization and why, like, the migration order as to whether or not, like, Egyptian people moved into Europe. That, like, is not really relevant to World of Warcraft or streaming, which is why I'm not discussing it, but Songvale, I guess, you probably know I'm thinking of this. And I don't know, I think it came up because I was thinking of Worgen names, and then I thought of, like, Egyptian deities, and then I just got into, like, the Proto-Indo-European cultural development frame of mind. Songvale says, have to figure out clips while I'm not actively streaming because can't track the timestamp of the situation while the stream is in progress, which is partly because theater mode doesn't seem to fit to tell me how long you've been streaming for. That's weird. That is weird. maybe I should try to embrace the fact that I don't always have a button to push with Rogue. Like, maybe it will give me the slower, more classic-like gameplay pace, but it mostly just makes me feel like I'm not doing my part in this group because I don't have any buttons to push. I'm just auto-attacking.
Not enough energy. Not ready.
One thing that I feel like it's great in terms of, like, just wanting good gear. Like, that's not my complaint. But one thing about the dungeon completion things that you get is that it certainly damages the excitement of gear drops because they're basically never going to be better than your heirloom or end of dungeon bag items. Alright, so here's where I have to kill him and then turn in the quest and then get the next one. For the final. Okay.
I do not have energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy.
My new life was just beginning. Your time has finally come, Godfrey. Attack my brothers. Make him feel the fury of the pack. You best hurry if you want any of the spoil.
I have misread this person's guild never touching grass as never touching glass several times.
Pack leader Ivar Bloodfang grins, revealing his razor-sharp teeth. Won't be long now before the entire keep's ours, thanks to your valiant efforts. Ah, the sweet scent of victory. My men should be tearing Godfrey to pieces even as we speak. Go up to his domain and collect your share of the spoils. You've earned it. You'd think that he would have been more difficult to defeat.
You wouldn't want to see me when I'm angry.
I've got to pop my stand up here a little bit to cool off the laptop. It's getting warm. Which did dump my phone, so hopefully as I put it somewhere new, I will see it as people post messages.
don't know why the door is
I need to deploy.
closed.
Not
My
enough
parents
energy.
could have already taken care of Godfrey by
I do
now.
not have enough
We will
energy.
stand idle no longer. The time to act is now. I'll make sure nothing interferes. Go now, heroes. Kill Godfrey.
That ability is not ready. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. Not enough energy.
Rude. I had poison and knocked me out of stealth.
His path failed horribly.
I missed the end of the thing. That pistol barrage was no joke back in the day, if I recall.
Not enough energy.
Although, honestly, I think all of the Cataclysm dungeons, when they first launched, were very dangerous, and then they went back on that later. But it had been a big critique at the end of Wrath that, like, everything was a cakewalk. And, so they made Cataclysm difficult. And then, surprise, surprise, people didn't like it being difficult either. Remember to always say thank you to your group mates, try and make WoW a social space again.
We did it, Fensei. At terrible cost. But victory is ours. This peak could serve well as a home for me and my pack, though we tend to prefer more natural habitats. It may be best to leave it as a reminder of Godfrey's betrayal, and of the Bloodfang warriors that died here in battle.
It's my first shoulders. We're gonna take the crit, I think. Hey, we got a queue with the tank, so this should not be super, super long, although it was the healer that we were waiting for last time, so. Wild rite of passage, pauldrons, exactly. I was also chilly this morning. Before I sat down to do streaming, I put like a quilted vest on. Yes, we will teleport out of the dungeon and continue working on some of our farming quests while we wait. Hey, there we go. Secret was to go try and start another tower. Wailing Caverns, alright. I have done these quests before, so it's not going to be as big of an experience bump, but we'll definitely hit 24. It would be great if we hit 25. I actually thought this character was already 25, so it would be great to get to where I thought I was. Songvale has said she's decided to give up on feeder mode and just collapse the left sidebar. That's smart. Are you drawing today, or are you just enjoying the stream? Just sitting with stream this time, that's totally fair.
I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy.
But also might be drawing something a little frustrated with the current belt drawing. Well, I really like it. If you want to send it to me, I know it does seem like your progress, like, on the image overall can be slow, but I think it's because you're so picky and precise with your colors. It does look really great. I think I've said that before, like, every time you send it to me, especially by the point that, like, everything is colored in, I'm like, wow, this is great. I would think it was done, and then kind of keep tuning it so it's exactly what you want, which I respect, but also, I don't know, usually I like whatever the current form is just fine. Sometimes I do notice, like, though, that, like, you'll make a change and I'll be like, oh wow, yeah, this is a big improvement. I liked it before, but it's even better now. Hey, it's a bag. I need that.
Not enough energy. That ability is not ready yet. I do not have enough energy.
We got a new bag. Songville says right now struggling specifically with the white moon portion of the astrolabe. That makes sense. Are you having difficulty coming up with, like, enough silvers, or what do you think the issue is? Songville says can't arrive at the color she likes for the eyes or jumps, and that it's really hard to arrive at an array of colors that allow for all the shards to have colors that don't touch their same colors but all still look like they belong there. It would be really convenient to find a blue that looks good with them and also can be part of the blue moon, which is about the eyes. I think that makes sense. Have you considered, like, letting all of the whites almost be similar and, like, working outwards in a gradient just to sort of sell the idea that, like, this is a special, ethereal, glowing entity? Like, almost, like, start at the center with a fairly, like, gray or blue color of white, and then work out to it being more and more pure and closer to white. She said she hasn't tried that, no. She was trying to do a crescent with it growing darker to one side, and that just did not work. But I could try going out from the center. I can spell. Yeah, I like the idea of the crescent to larger, but I can see where, like, because the pieces they're not meant to work from, like, one direction to the other. They're kind of like wedges around the circle. I can see where that wasn't quite reading. It wasn't clear enough. Woohoo! Hey, now we can pick locks. We are going to have to clear the inventory again, but I'm glad I thought to do that. What are we in combat with? This snake. Okay. interesting. It's always been interesting to me that, like, these druids have lightning spells, which makes sense. Like, they do have hurricane, but it overlaps with the player shaman skill set. I guess it just goes to show that, like, in practice, shamans and druids sort of do different things within the same family of abilities. That they use the druid and shaman overlap? Is that what you mean by the subject are the same way?
I cannot do that yet.
Maybe snakeness is attuned to lightning. That would make sense, and I also think that's a cool idea. Headcanon accepted. Snack equals lightning. Wasn't this person never touching, or no, it was a different person, but somebody else in the same guild was in our last group, the never touching grass group. Interesting.
I cannot do that. It's too far away.
Tungvale wonders if the Druids of the Fang have any connection to Sephiroth. I think that would be an interesting idea, or maybe they were like on the path to discovering Sephiroth. I don't know if the Druids of the Fang are supposed to be like whole cloth brand new, or if they are reviving something that used to be the case for druids, in the way that like the Worgen were druids of the pack. I'm not sure. I don't have gloves. Interesting. How bad are these? These are fine. We get gloves. Where are the prospectors? Is it explained why the Druids of the Fang are bad? I believe they were supposed to be corrupted by the Emerald Nightmare. I am pretty sure that is why the Druids of the Fang were hostile. Tungville says, guess that could happen to anyone, and it's not necessarily that they're talking to a mean wild ad. Correct. Yeah. Because there isn't really the sense that they're talking to anyone here. They were just trying to, like, grow things in the Barrens. And there sort of was unchecked negative growth. They unleashed plant cancer. You seem to like this one. Give me corn. There's a seller's jay trying to make toey noises. That's cute, honestly. I think that's really adorable. Yeah, give corn. Reward this behavior.
Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. I need to get closer. Not enough energy.
Alright. Hunt continues. We are halfway done with this. Again, I still don't... I don't know. It might be close. We might get 25 off this, like, for the completion bonus experience. But I'm not getting that many experience points per kill because everything in here is green. I'm pretty over leveled for this then.
I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. That ability is not ready. Target something first.
Never the armor type that you wear that seems to drop the most on that character.
Not enough energy.
No, it is not. I don't know that fearing is the safest choice in most cases. I mean, it worked out okay for us here, but
I cannot do that. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. That ability is not ready yet. Not ready.
I honestly forgot that they actually can shapeshift into snakes here.
cannot do that. That ability is not ready yet.
I think when stream is over, I'm gonna make some pasta this morning. Yeah, this place is super open. I feel like it was more tightly packed in vanilla, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But you can definitely end up in some nasty chain pulls here.
I cannot do that yet.
And also, it's such a labyrinth, especially in the vanilla version. Like, this is way simplified in the Cataclysm one, if I recall correctly. It's, like, less clear where to go. And there was no map, also. So it was dangerous because you couldn't, like, get out if you needed to. I didn't want to push that, not that it matters, but I'm trying to min-max. Except I'm really not, 'cause I didn't do any research. Maybe they changed the model at some point. Is it the Gilnean Raven? What battle pet is the bird? I've just read all those things backwards. That is the Gilnean Raven, yeah. Or I guess it just says crow. But that is the model, is the... Hey, it's the stupidest line in the game. It is just called crow. I'm not sure where it's from, honestly. Oh, did we pull this boss too? Oh no, they just threw it over there. Packet. Do I have these? No. I need them. I think I was originally playing this character like, oh, I want to keep aesthetic armor on, but I think actually what I really want to do is like burn to 85. So we're gonna put on things that are upgrades. It's on Dark Moon Island. Oh, yep.
I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy. I do not have enough energy. Not enough energy.
Crap. My eyes are doing the washed out, like, it's almost like visual halos. But it's more like the center of my vision has like areas that, it's like a really mild form of when you look at the sun or another really bright light and you get like dark spots in your vision. I'm having that right now, and it seems like that happens to me before I get headaches now, which is not ideal. I have to go to work today. But it's making it so that I can't focus on the screen again, which is annoying. It also makes it really hard to read. Like, I can read anything that's not on a screen for the most part. And I guess reading the keyboard's a little hard. No, I guess, because it's like part of my vision has like a... It's not really a dot, but there's like a filter over it. Almost. Like, I can't... Like, the information is coming. It's not like it's blacked out, but it's like I can't focus on it, and something is weird about it. It's very hard to describe. And so it's very hard to read. If I look, like, to the right, it's okay. But if I'm looking at all to the left, like on the left side of my vision, it gets hard to read. Do they happen on the same side as your headache or the opposite side? Most of the time, I do have a headache on the, from my perspective, on the left side. Although, interestingly, right now, I have a headache, and I'm growing a headache in a totally different area than usual. It's on the right lower side where it connects to my neck. But, yeah, I don't know, maybe I should track all of that. I don't know if it will help to know anything about like what side it's on.
That ability is not ready yet.
I don't know if there's a typical matchup for auras. But yeah, I'm having to like pick up the phone and like move it. If as long as it's moving in my vision and I'm not focusing in one spot, like then I can read it. But like if I've looked for more than half a second at the place, then it's like I can't. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I guess it's like just blowout aura. It's like it's not that it's blurry. It's not that it's black. It's not that it's white either. But I can't like resolve the image. I really don't know how to describe it. It's almost like all the colors start to like I can't recognize the edges between different colors, and it all like just sort of becomes one color. So like it's almost like those optical, that's what it is. It's like those optical illusions where if you look at the wrong spot, like dots on the side of your vision will like disappear and just go into the background. That's what's happening. So when I look at stuff, it's like portions of my vision are like deleting what's there, and then the rest of my vision is just assuming what is there based on like the surrounding background area. So it's like, it's not really the case like I can't see the books and the wall is just white, but when I'm looking across the room at like my bookshelf, that's sort of happening where it's like I can kind of tell there's text, but when I look at it, it's also kind of getting blended in with just whatever the color of the spine of the book is. It's very strange. And like, yeah, I guess that's what I would describe it as. It's like everything is getting pulled towards one thing where like objects aren't really see-through, but it's messing with like my sense of depth and where the edges of things are. At any rate, I do think I will probably need to call stream early. I don't know. I mean, I can keep playing like mindless Cataclysm leveling, but I kind of wonder if I should stop looking at a screen and maybe eat. Food. I have had a banana this morning and a cup and a half of coffee, so my coffee has whole milk and sugar in it, so like I have had calories today, but maybe some more substantial pasta will help. I'm just wondering if like looking at glowing light is not a good idea, since the effect is everywhere and actually is slowly getting stronger in real space too, but on a screen it's pretty hard to discern what's going on a screen. Unfortunately, maybe should rest. Put some salt on it. Yeah, I will. You know, I subscribe to the theory where I feel like it should taste like seawater. If you're not cooking your food in the Mediterranean, you're not doing it right when it comes to pasta. Granted, I don't know how doing it right I really can be, given how do I leave room? I will have water. Thank you for the fish. Thank you once again for the encouragement to stream. I will still be available in Discord, but I'm gonna go ahead and be done with WoW for today. Just in light of the fact that I have a lot of stuff that I'm planning on doing today, and not really deal with the migraine. I think because I'm gonna go ahead and just shut this off, I'm not gonna raid into anyone this morning. We are just gonna call it done. Thank you once again for your time, and I'll be back again soon. If Songvale has anything to say about it, I might be back tomorrow, but I think I might go shoot archery in the morning, so we'll see. Bye! Have a good day!